accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support. Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Did you know that the Walker has a cinema that shows film almost every week? From artist talks, genre-defined performances, and world premieres to archival shorts and experimental soundscapes, the Walker Cinema explores all modes of global and local filmmaking. Get your first tickets for free. Visit walkerart.org/cinema to learn more. That's walkerart.org/cinema. See you at the movies. Hey, it's Robert Pilot from Native Roots Radio. For a meal that feeds your soul and health, check out Gatherings Cafe. Located in the renovative Minneapolis American Indian Center, Executive Chef Vernon Defoe and team serve up incredible indigenous flavors. Gatherings Cafe has amazing bison tacos featuring lean protein from native wise, corn tortillas, and homemade sides. It's fresh, local food rooted in ancestral knowledge. Stop by for breakfast or lunch. That's Gatherings Cafe, where tradition meets innovation.
Maintaining our health, particularly our heart health, is very important to us as a family.
Your heart gives you time with family, time with community, time to pass down what matters. Protecting your heart helps keep those moments alive. A visit with a healthcare provider can be one step toward a healthier future. Learn more at hennepincounty.gov/hearts-beats. Your heart health is essential because your heart beats for generations.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms possible with a low of 73. Then Tuesday, sunshine with a high of 92. Add a little flair to the long Independence Day weekend with a wonderful meal from an Eat Local Minnesota restaurant. Eat Local Minnesota restaurants have a great variety of cuisines with gift card and takeout options available too. Check out the list of restaurants at eatlocalminnesota.com.
It's a good day to be indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake. Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Kadagi to all my friends and relatives in 4 directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events, and as you know, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues. Hey, I just want to really quickly congratulate my wife, Wendy, and I are celebrating our 25th wedding anniversary today. And she's made me a better man, and I just want to give her some flowers out here on Native Roots Radio, and really love her too so much and what she does for our family. So she's made me a better man, and I just wanted to say that. Hey, we have Bob Lake from Red Lake, the Solar Bear with the Solar News and Sports. Great to see you, Bob. Thanks for coming on as always. Ho!
Hey, Robert, I just want to say congratulations to you and Wendy on 25 years. Simply amazing. Wendy is wonderful. Robert, you are awesome. I mean, you're just a great couple. And I hope you guys enjoy your day, honestly.
Yeah, I overkicked my coverage there, as they say, Bob.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Robert, I mean, it's with everything that's happening in, today and everything that's going on. It's just really nice to see just a wonderful couple like yourself just doing good things in the community, and continuing to move important ideas and conversations forward the way you're doing it, Robert. And I know Wendy does a lot of great work in the community too. So yeah, just thank you guys, man. You guys just enjoy your day today, honestly.
Yeah, I really, really appreciate that, and I know Wendy does. And again, I did overkick my coverage, but and a funny thing too, we were talking because Wendy'd been married before too, and this is the longest that she's had a name, last name. Even Pilot is her last name, so it's the longest she's ever had. Or Pilot is the longest she's had as a last name, and
Oh,
I always think it's funny too when I hear people call her Pilot, and I kind of giggle to myself because a lot of people, and especially my former students, call me Pilot. So it's really, and or when I was in school too, when I was in school, but I always get a chuckle out of that.
well, I've heard your students refer to you as Pilot at
Right.
some of the powwows
Yeah.
that I was at where you were at. And then I know that my brothers grew up with you,
Yeah.
and you guys have some pictures in
Yeah.
the St. Paul Pioneer Press right now
Right.
of the 200th anniversary of this country.
Yeah.
That was like 50 years ago, Robert. That's crazy.
I know.
And I know that my brothers would call you Bob Pilot.
Right. Right. Exactly. So there's we don't want to get deep into this. We got to talk about news and sports, but I'll just say this. There's different eras. When I was little, people called me Bobby. When I was, a teenager, up to when I was 23, it was Bob, and then I changed it back. I asked people to call me Robert when I sobered up in 1984. So I can tell where people know me from what era by what they call me. That is funny.
Oh, that is too funny, Robert. Well, I hope you guys have a great night out tonight. And it's unfortunate. Well, I don't know. I suppose it's the way you look at it, but Robert, we are under a heat dome, is what they're calling
Yes.
it. A
Jeez.
heat wave, heat dome
Mhm.
in this country right now. And what a lot of people are talking about, something that we always talk about, Robert, on the Solar Bear with the Solar News, is climate change and the environment, and how this particular, they're calling it an El Nino, where there's like this heating of the ocean, and that comes into and through the West Coast, and brings this like enormous amount of heat that normally wouldn't happen, but because of the heating of the planet and those forces taking shape, we have this incredibly intense heat wave that we are now starting to deal with here in Minnesota. So, climate change is real, everybody.
Yeah, and with the fires, unbelievable fires, and I know, Bob, I take a walk. Today I didn't, but usually 5 or 6 days out of the week, I walk down to the dam, the old Ford Dam, and there hasn't been too many days, even in the winter or spring, I should say, that there's been water going over the dam, and that's a drought. That's a drought from up north. That's a drought here in the Twin Cities.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing about that, Robert, is that means that it's getting very dry out there,
Yeah.
and a lightning bolt. We've got the 4th of July. Everyone, be careful with your fireworks. Understand we are in drought conditions around the state of Minnesota right now. We do have multiple fires popping up. I was just talking to somebody about, the storm that came through Bemidji, and I believe it was 9 million trees
Yeah.
that went down. They're still trying to clean that up, Robert. And, what's happening is those trees are drying up and it's becoming like tinder.
Yeah.
And I just saw a report on, I believe it was like 3 fire people that are fighting fires that lost their lives.
Yeah.
Everyone, take this seriously. Fire moves really, really quick. And, this is really serious. So please have your, evacuation or some type of plan put together with your family, because when everything starts happening, and if we've learned from what happened out in the Paradise Fire out in
Right.
California and these different ones that took place, families always come back and they say, I wish we would have had a plan with our kids, with our family, where to meet at, because
Where our pets too.
where our pets are at, because one of the worst things they say is not knowing where everyone is at.
Yeah. Well, I think Bob, I think we need to talk about, I was going to say reiterate, but that's not the right word. About fireworks and fire.
Yeah, absolutely, Robert. And in these dry conditions that are in the state of Minnesota right now, everyone be careful with your fireworks. If you can go without them this year, I would
Yeah.
highly recommend that. If there's
Yeah.
another way that you can, celebrate this, if you can leave it to the professionals, everyone, I would really suggest that, because, it doesn't take a lot for one of these fires to start and to really get out of hand. We have really windy conditions.
Yeah.
I went through wildfire training, Robert, out in
Okay.
Montana, Billings, Montana,
Jeez.
and we were out in West Missoula. And I'm telling you, Robert, there was a situation where I believe it was like 5 miles wide, 10 miles long, and that fire went in like 15 minutes. Like 15 minutes. You can't outrun that stuff. And so that's why I say this stuff is very serious. And I just hope everyone's safe this 4th of July, honestly.
Yeah, we'll talk more about climate and things going around the community and the nation. We're with Bob Blake with Solar Bear of the Solar News, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio. We'll be right back after this short break.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Did you know that the Walker has a cinema that shows film almost every week? From artist talks, genre-defined performances, and world premieres to archival shorts and experimental soundscapes, the Walker Cinema explores all modes of global and local filmmaking. Get your first tickets for free. Visit walkerart.org/cinema to learn more. That's walkerart.org/cinema. See you at the movies. Hey, it's Robert Pilot from Native Roots Radio. For a meal that feeds your soul and health, check out Gatherings Cafe. Located in the renovative Minneapolis American Indian Center, Executive Chef Vernon Defoe and team serve up incredible indigenous flavors. Gatherings Cafe has amazing bison tacos featuring lean protein from native wise, corn tortillas, and homemade sides. It's fresh, local food rooted in ancestral knowledge. Stop by for breakfast or lunch. That's Gatherings Cafe, where tradition meets innovation.
Heart health is more than just the physical well-being. It represents like a foundation of vitality, resilience, and the ability to live fully.
Your heart carries stories of resilience, love, and survival. Caring for your heart means honoring yourself and the generations before and after you. It means protecting your ability to gather, laugh, and be present. Learn more about your heart health at hennepincounty.gov/heart-beats, because your story matters and your heart beats for generations.
Hi, it's Dr. Evan Adams, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio. Hey, Victor, you better be listening.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Native Roots Radio, and we are here with Bob Blake from Red Lake, and we have Misko producing the show here in the background. Uh, just again, I want to say a happy wedding anniversary to my partner, Wendy Pilot. Hey, Bob, you were mentioning something just before break, and your life's like a onion. I'm peeling it out after all these years. You worked for Prince. You've been doing solar for all these years, and I just heard you worked in the Minneapolis school district, which I did not know or remember. But you also said something, especially nowadays with the fireworks and the fires and all these things, that you were a firefighter. Welcome back.
Yeah. Yeah. It crazy. I wasn't even unemployed for 1 week when I left Prince. Okay. And my friends were working at the Minneapolis public schools, and they got me a job working at Sanford Middle School. And so I was literally with Prince the week before I was with these young junior high kids the week later. And I did that for the next couple of years. I ended up working for Indian Education. It was a really great experience, but it wasn't my career choice. But I ended up the following summer, after school let out, I was visiting my parents in North Dakota, at Fort Totten, in Fort Totten Indian Reservation, and I seen these people that were doing this test called the pack test, and you have to, like, I don't know, 5 miles or something. And I was sitting out back, and they were like, "Yeah, that's really tough and everything." And well, I was in really, really good shape then. And I said, "Oh, I could do that. When they doing it next?" And, "Oh, they're doing it tomorrow morning. You can go sign up." And wouldn't you know it, I got right behind the cross country star of the tribe.
Oh,
And me and him went at it for like couple miles or something. I forget. But let me tell you something. That guy was in shape because I stood right on his heels. And we went through that and got back and took that test. And the next thing, they shipped us out to Billings, Montana.
what?
And so there I was going through wildfire training. And one of the things that was really interesting, Robert, was we got off the bus and we went to this gas station, in this mom and pop gas station, and they saw we were all in our green and yellow shirts. We had yellow shirts and green pants, and we were, U.S. Forest Service, and the mom and pop place said, "You guys grab whatever you want."
Wow.
And this is how serious it's out there around the fires. Well, long story short, Robert, we were going through our training, and they were telling us that, there's going to be animals coming from the forest as you dig your trench. And we were digging trenches, and we were doing mop up. And I didn't see the bears, but apparently there was a couple of bears that just walked right by my teammates, who were only 100 yards probably away from me. I had no idea. I didn't see them. I did see snakes, right?
Wow.
And it was an amazing experience. But they told us, that you can't outrun the fire. You're going to have to use your fire shield. You're going to have to dig a trench, or you have to dig a hole, put your mouth in it. Your lungs are going to be full of dirt, but you will survive if you do this.
Wow.
And because they said it's like being dropped in the middle of the ocean with all of your equipment, and because the fire is sucking all the oxygen out. So it's like you will suffocate because of the fire. And it's so that's and I think it was a 5 mile by 10 mile or something. That it went in like 10 minutes, Robert. That's how
Wow.
quickly these things move. And that's why I say to everyone right now, this is very serious stuff. So right now there's about 245,000 acres right now that are being burnt right now from wildfires.
Jeez.
They said there's about 34,000 wildfires so far this year. We're on pace to set another record. And one of the biggest right now is in Utah. Right now, Robert, happening right now as we speak.
Jeez.
And what's happening, everybody, is that all the moisture is being sucked up into the air because this is climate change, and it's traveling to the east, and it's basically turning into one big lake. And that's why we get floods in North Carolina, and we get fires all over on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Because this is climate change and this is what's happening, and it's drying out everything. And just the simplest thing like fireworks and whatnot can really start these fires. And that's why I say to everyone, maybe if we pass on the fireworks this season, and not only for our, four-legged, relatives, because they have a hard time with fireworks, but also our veterans, and other folks that are dealing with PTSD issues. So in my opinion, Robert, I think if we could, or just on the fact that we don't want to start fires, maybe if people abstain from fireworks and leave it to the professionals this year, that would probably be a good idea.
Too, Bob, when you were talking, I remember just 2 years ago. So we were in New York, and the fires from Canada, you couldn't even see a block. And then we had all summer, we couldn't go outside, it seemed like, because we had, air quality warnings. And I mean, that can turn into that really quick again.
Robert, I purchased 3 air cleaners a couple of months, about a month ago or something, because in anticipation that this fire season was going to be bad. So I'm already thinking about it, and that's why I say having fallback areas with your family, going through kind of a routine with them, saying this is what's going to happen. Because what's going to happen, Robert, when these things start happening, your cell phones are not going to work, everyone. Because the towers are going to be just jammed. So you have something together with your family. Say, this is what's going to happen. This is where we meet. Everyone go there, because one of the things that I think we've learned from these fires that have happened on the West Coast is you always hear from the families that say, the hardest thing for me was trying to find my daughter, trying to find my son, trying to find their loved ones. So if everyone can at least just do that, have a plan put together where to meet everyone, that would be a great first step. And then once you're together, then think of another where, okay, here's how we move through this, how we get out of here.
Bob, one thing too, I was thinking, not only the fires, and I'm glad we're talking about this, especially with the 4th of July and fireworks, but the weather, the tornadoes, the humidity, it's coming with all we have Tornado Alley that goes down, below us, a whole alley of states. But I see tornadoes in Florida now. I see tornadoes that I, as a young person, even in my 60s, do not remember anything like this.
Yeah, and this is all due to climate change, Robert, and the storms are going to become more violent, more common. We're going to see them coming into metropolitan areas where we've never seen them before. And this is why I think it's really important for everyone to be able to have, a plan put together, to have, you would call it a bug out bag. I have read, Robert, so many prepper books, many emergency evacuation plans that it's just ingrained in me. And so, like, I have my bag put together. Like, if I had to leave right now, Robert, like if there was something happening right now, I can literally leave in 10 seconds with what I need and take off, and whatever happens to my place happens. You know what I mean?
Well,
And
I better get my baseball cards in order.
right?
Jeez.
And so it's really important, everyone, that you somehow get comfortable with that.
Yeah.
And understand, we, during the situation with ICE, I went through a little thing on my Facebook page about gas mask. I have my gas mask. I have all that stuff put together, ready to go, just because you just never know. And so I don't want to sound alarmist or anything, but what I want people to know, that preparation will make you feel comfortable and make you have a clear mind when there is chaos around you, and your kids, your family, your loved ones are going to appreciate that part.
Absolutely. Hey, we are here with Bob Blake, the Solar Bear with the Solar News, and we're having really a great discussion about climate and things. I know Wendy and I have, or I should say Wendy cleaned up underneath our basement steps. We have chairs there. We have things there. Have a plan. Again, great talking about this, Robert. Hey, we're going to be back with Robert Blake after this short break. This is Native Roots Radio. Ho!
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis Air. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis Air dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Culture prevents so many negative things from happening to us as individuals and as communities.
Strong roots begin with a healthy heart. For Indigenous women, heart health is part of caring for community, culture, and future generations. Even small steps can help protect what matters most. Discover ways to support your heart at hennepincounty.gov/hearts-beats, because your heart beats for generations.
Programming is supported in part by Health Partners. If you're age 65 plus and qualify for medical assistance, you may also qualify for Health Partners Minnesota Senior Health Options. This all-in-one plan bundles Medicare, medical assistance, prescription drug coverage, and dental coverage into one simple $0 premium plan that also includes $0 medical copays. In addition to saving money, you can get lots of extra benefits and perks, like a dedicated care coordinator, up to $400 each year in rewards for preventative screenings, transportation, a fitness club membership, and more. This can help you live safely and healthy and independently. If you're a senior on a budget, transportation assistance can be huge. Plus, who couldn't use an extra $400 these days? Eligibility information is available at healthpartners.com/oneplan. Health Partners is a health plan that contracts with both Medicare and the Minnesota Medical Assistance Medicaid program to provide benefits of both programs to enrollees. Enrollment in Health Partners depends on contract renewal.
Unwanted sexting or photos, inappropriate jokes, even tickling or wrestling can feel like a violation. Catcalling, cornering, or groping, getting them drunk or high for sex, recording sexual acts without permission, hurting someone because of their sexual orientation, raping a family member, a child, a date, a friend, a stranger, purchasing a human being for sex. You make the choice every single time. Sexual violence is many things. Make a choice. Do not do it.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
This is Chase Iron Eyes announcing a new show on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota, powered by Native Roots Radio. The show is called Native American Patriot Talk Radio. What will we do on the show? We are going to explore and dive into the source of American constitutional sovereignty, the intersection of Native American and legal issues. Find us the first and third Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. on AM 950.
Hey, it's Robert Pilot from Native Roots Radio. For a meal that feeds your soul and health, check out Gatherings Cafe. Located in the renovative Minneapolis American Indian Center, Executive Chef Vernon Defoe and team serve up incredible indigenous flavors. Gatherings Cafe has amazing bison tacos featuring lean protein from native wise, corn tortillas, and homemade sides. It's fresh, local food rooted in ancestral knowledge. Stop by for breakfast or lunch. That's Gatherings Cafe, where tradition meets innovation.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms possible with a low of 73. Then Tuesday, sunshine with a high of 92. See Wicked, the Broadway sensation that tells the untold true story of the Witches of Oz. Experience the magic at the Orpheum Theater from July 8th through August 9th. Get tickets at hennepinarts.org. Book now for best evening performance availability starting July 15th.
AM 950 KTNF, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Hi, I'm Tiergan. And I'm Hadley. We're two of the very first listeners, and we're still listening to Native Roots Radio.
Oh, I got to see our relatives, Tiergan, at Pride, Bob, and what a celebration! And we were lucky to be out there at Native Roots Radio on Saturday. We did a great live broadcast at Pride, Twin Cities Pride, and then also we got to see the parade, and Native Americans for the first time ever led the parade with the drum. And it was really significant, and I want to give a quick shout out to everyone involved with that, Bob.
Oh, wow. That is awesome, Robert. It must have been in 1996, I want to say, 95 or something. We got the security contract and Pride wasn't that big. It was just in the park, you know what I mean? In Loring Park. Yeah. And we did the security for it, and we were doing it every year, but the festival kept on getting bigger and bigger.
Right.
And so, it outgrew our services, but, to be able to just be a part of those early days, we did the Juneteenth festivals. Wow. We did the Cinco de Mayo on the west side of St. Paul. We did all of those things, and just to see how they've grown and turned into, this amazing parade now, Robert, like you said, and it being led by Native folks, Two-Spirit. Like I seen the pictures, it was just beautiful. And so I just want to just say to the organizers and to everyone who continue to this day to do that great work for our community, especially for the Pride community. It's so awesome to see.
Yeah, I want to thank too Robert Lilligren and Alfred Walking Bull for stopping in and giving their perspective on Pride and just about the struggles and the things and the history. It was really great, and we got to showcase our producer too. She was on in the first segment, Misko. And really excited about the future of Native Roots Radio, but also we always have to look at the past and how far we've come, and we got a ways to go. And I just want to get your opinion on this too. Saw politicians out there, and our sister Peggy Flanagan was out there, of course, supporting BIPOC and everybody in the parade, and our relatives, Two-Spirit relatives.
Well, yeah, and Peggy being out there, and I've seen some of the videos and some of the pictures and everything, and I'll tell you what, Robert, she's been doing this for a long time, in our community, in the community, and just to see her interaction and just the way she's running her campaign, she's with the people, she's for the people. Right. And that's what I think everyone needs to really, really understand. And she doesn't have these big packs,
right.
And you see the lies, lies that they're running on television.
It's
but this is where we are in our political space. And, it's just unfortunate. And it's really sad that but I'll tell you what, they will stoop to no end to be able to try and frame her as this corporate, handout. And I'll tell you what, Robert, that's her opponent.
Yeah.
I'm saying it right now. That's her opponent.
Definitely.
And it's like, and so as a person who's been doing these festivals since 95, 96, when everybody was, kind of like, and we didn't know what to expect back then, Robert, because we knew there was, hate. There was people that were, like targeting these communities, and Peggy was back then, Peggy was in these spaces back then. And 25 years later, she's still in this space representing. And so I just want to say, like, Robert, I think everybody just saw her, but I mean, she's been doing this for a long time, because I know, because I was working security at all these events.
Yeah.
And if everybody who knows me knows that I was the guy downtown working at the nightclubs
Right.
and City Center, they know that I've done security in this town forever. So
Yeah.
I've seen all these folks. You know what I mean? I didn't see her opponent. I seen
No.
Peggy, though.
Well, the GLBT community is supporting Peggy, and Craig is a part of that community. So her own community is not even supporting her. But all the misinformation seems like it's working. KSTP had a poll out that all of a sudden Angie Craig's 5 points ahead. And so we can't have that. And we need to amplify her as much as we can and get her on the show and get her, get the 200,000 people listening to AM 950 to vote for her and not listen to all this fake crap that's out there. It's unbelievable. That first video that came out that was AI, and basically it said all the things that Angie Craig did that Peggy Flanagan does, and they were all lies. And people play that and listen to that and think it's true. And I think what I've heard is when you hear misinformation like that, you have to send out 10 times more to correct it before people understand it. So, or know that it is misinformation. So we'll talk about the Lieutenant Governor as much as we can here on Native Roots Radio, and really appreciate her and really want to help push her forward.
Okay, so let's just stick with the facts then, Robert. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's remember that the Lieutenant Governor's opponent voted for the Laken-Riley Act.
Absolutely.
Is a U.S. federal law that mandates the detention without bond of non-citizens who are arrested for or are charged with certain crimes, including theft and assault. It was signed into law by President Trump on January 29th, 2025. Everyone, this is facts.
Yeah.
Recently, a Congressman Tom Emmer came out and supported, Congresswoman Craig.
Yeah.
I mean, he just got done saying that, just some horrendous things about, the Somali community.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Robert, like, the facts are the facts. And is this what we want? You know what I mean? I mean, we just went through this horrendous situation with ICE, and I'm telling you, Robert, this is the reason why all that is happening, because of this Laken-Riley Act. So please, I mean, everyone, I mean, I think we just got to look at the facts, and we got to know who and what stands for, Minnesotans in the United States of America.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I want to segue, because it's Solar Bear with the news and sports, and I want to segue into some sports. There's been a couple of significant things here happening in Indian country, and you know how much I love baseball, but I also know that there's people that play Major League Baseball that think like those San Francisco Giant players that are anti a lot of things, and so I want to amplify some good things that are happening, and I know I'm going to let you take it away here, but there's a draft that happened, and there's also a Major League Baseball player that happened that's representing all of us on Turtle Island.
Well, And I think you're referring to the Navajo player out in Boston right now.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
And, let's not forget that Boston Red Sox had Jacoby Ellsbury,
That's right.
who was Native American. So they're having some luck with native players in the Boston Red Sox organization. And then, of course, the first pick of the NHL draft was a Native American,
Yeah.
and he, talked about what he was wearing, why he was wearing it,
Mhm.
and his family was in the background, all wearing like native, like traditional,
Vests.
dressings. Yeah,
Yeah.
and so I thought that was really cool. It's really nice to see these young Native people that are doing wonderful things in athletics. They're focused. They come from a long line of good athletes. Jim Thorpe.
Yep, exactly. Hey, let me jump in too because we only got a couple minutes. Gavin McKenna was the number one overall pick in the NFL draft, and then we were talking about again my baseball guys, Anthony Siegler, a Navajo Nation with the Red Sox.
Yeah, amazing, Robert. We can't say enough about those guys. Lots of other things happening too in sports. Olivia Miles is having just a outstanding season for the Minnesota Lynx. We were just talking how exciting the Minnesota Lynx are. We all want to get to the game and watch them. I'm excited for the Lynx. And the Minnesota Twins are still in the hunt, Robert.
Yeah.
I can't believe they are actually still winning with the team that they're putting out there.
No
This is like
pitching,
a real
no
major
relievers.
league movie.
Yeah. Well, they got hitting, but no relievers, so keep it up, Twins.
Yeah. And so I mean, Minnesota sports right now, it's 4th of July, it's hot. And I'm just happy to see that the Lynx at least are on top and they are just like rolling through the league and just winning every game.
Well, what's interesting too, Bob, is we have a big following and we're on civic media all over Wisconsin, and we got to give our Wisconsin natives, Wisconsin neighbors, some flowers. But I'd like to, but we're running out of time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Robert, that was a wonderful show. That was the Solar Bear with the solar news and sports.
Hey, Bob, thanks for coming on as always, doing all these segments with us. And I know everybody loves listening to you. And good luck, and we'll see you very, very soon. Thanks again for coming on. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and we'll be right back after this short break. Happy anniversary, Wendy. Ho!
Maintaining our health, particularly our heart health, is very important to us as a family.
Your heart gives you time with family, time with community, time to pass down what matters. Protecting your heart helps keep those moments alive. A visit with a healthcare provider can be one step toward a healthier future. Learn more at hennepincounty.gov/hearts-beats. Your heart health is essential because your heart beats for generations. Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Warmer weather, sunny skies, summer is here. At the Walker, this means mini golf is open on the rooftop. Artist-led activations return to the hillside, and the cinema has a series of curated films. It's the perfect time to visit. Gallery admissions are free every Thursday night and free every day for members and citizens of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org/summer.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Hey, it's Robert Pilot from Native Roots Radio. For a meal that feeds your soul and health, check out Gatherings Cafe. Located in the renovative Minneapolis American Indian Center, Executive Chef Vernon Defoe and team serve up incredible indigenous flavors. Gatherings Cafe has amazing bison tacos featuring lean protein from native wise, corn tortillas, and homemade sides. It's fresh, local food rooted in ancestral knowledge. Stop by for breakfast or lunch. That's Gatherings Cafe, where tradition meets innovation.
Hi, I'm Tiergan. And I'm Hadley. We're two of the very first listeners, and we're still listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio. Wendy, happy anniversary.
Yeah, happy 25th wedding anniversary.
Yay. And people said it would never last. Hey, I know you got a lot to talk about. I'm just going to hand over the mic to you. Thank you for coming in on our anniversary to talk about some important issues.
Yes. Hey, everybody. My name is Hanaji Hihani. That means cares for them. And I was given that name by my Dega Curtis. Curtis goes by what does he go by? Mashki Hanajinga,
Yes,
which means walks
thank
on
you.
white clouds.
Oh, I was
I'm a
panicked there for a
policy
second.
volunteer for the Humane World for Animals, formerly known as the Humane Society of the United States, and I work on animal issues at the local and state level. It's always my pleasure to do that. Thank you, Robert, and for talking about the fireworks and animals in the previous segment. It's really important that we take care of our animals, and as soon as you can, call your vet if your pet needs some medication, and keep the window shut and the air conditioning on, and don't bring them out to see fireworks. That's all I have to say.
No, that's good.
During the 4th of July is the time of year where the most dogs and pets go missing because they get scared and run off. So yeah, we're in a heat wave. We're in a heat wave. What's the heat index today? What did it say? Something over 100.
million.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's
So
a million.
anyway, we really have to take care of our pets and our wildlife. Let's not forget about the critters who live in our backyard. But quickly, for our pets, we really, like Wanda, our dog Wanda right now has health conditions, and this humidity and heat really affects her. Like her breathing is really bad. And so she goes out just for potty breaks for 5 minutes, and that's it. She's back in the house because it really is affecting her breathing. So just be aware of that. Always keep cool, fresh water out for them at all times. Walk your dog, of course, early in the morning or at sunset. I don't even think it's sunset if it's going to be any cooler. And of course, avoid the hottest part of the day. And here's one thing that I always try to do is test the pavement. So with the back of your hand, if it's too hot for 7 seconds, it's too hot for pause. So always use the back of your hand. That has the most nerve endings, and you can really feel how hot the pavement is. So 7 seconds. If it's too hot, don't walk your dog on the pavement. It's really too much. And then never leave your dog in a parked car, even if the windows are cracked. It's
exactly,
it's really too much. Year after year, unfortunately, we see so many dogs that die in the back seat of cars because they're in there. And honestly, I don't know what the law is in Minnesota, but if I saw a dog struggling and panting and they were in a car, I would risk arrest and break the window and get the dog out. I would do it.
I think the law is that you can.
Yeah, I'd have to look that up and make sure. I know different cities and states have different laws, but you could always call the police. That's one thing that the police will do. They will come and get the dog out. And watch for signs for heat stroke. Right? So excessive panting, drooling, vomiting, weakness, confusion, or collapsing. And if you suspect that your dog is having a heat stroke, move your pet to a cool space, offer small amounts of water to cool them down. And like use like cool towels and wrap it around their paws. Like if you put it on their back, it like puts their body into shock. So like put the cool cloths and towels or water, whatever you have that's cool around their paws, on their belly, between their legs. That's really, they could get brain damage from heat stroke. So, and call your vet right away. This morning I went out and I filled all our bird baths with fresh water, made sure they were moved in the shade a little bit more, even though when the sun comes around, it just, heats them up. But I also put a dish, I know people laugh at me, but I put a shallow dish and I have a bunch of pebbles in it and I fill the water up just so like bees, butterfly, even flies can fly on top of those pebbles and drink water. You'd be surprised. I have a couple of videos too I should share and put on. I don't have them readily available right now, where I have some bees landing on those pebbles and you could see that they're drinking the water because it's very shallow.
They're giving you the thumbs up.
Yeah,
too,
you don't want them to drown. Yeah, we got like say 1, 2, 3, 4 bird baths. Oh, and hummingbird. If you have hummingbird nectar outside in this heat, important. What happens is the sugar crystallizes and then the hummingbird will drink that nectar that you put out for them. And their beak will adhere, like their top and bottom beak will adhere to each other and they won't be able to open it again. They won't be able to eat and then they die. So make sure, like last night, I put it out and then before we leave today, I'm going to take it back in and then put it back out tonight, like at midnight. So it's there for them in the morning and then take it back out again because I don't want that sugar to crystallize inside the hummingbird feeder. And also, if I make my own, it's a 1-to-4 ratio. So I do 1 cup of sugar to 4 cups of water. So I boil the water first and put 4 cups of water I boil. Then I put 1 cup of just plain old everyday granulated sugar. Don't use organic because organic has other ingredients in it. Don't use raw sugar, just use plain old granulated sugar and let it cool. I store it in the refrigerator and I only fill that hummingbird feeder up, just enough that's going to last like a day or two because I want to change that out. And then never wash the hummingbird feeder with any kind of soaps or detergents. Right. I just really rinse it out really well with very, very hot water. Sometimes people say you could use vinegar also, but I don't even bother with that. I just, wash it out really well with very hot water and a brush. And that's all I do. Yeah. And put it out there. It's really, it's really too hot right now and it's just too much. Also, you know what it says here too, and it doesn't really have anything to do with animals really, but avoid trimming trees and shrubs during extreme heat as they provide essential shelter.
They're beans.
Not even that. All the plants that we have in our garden right now are just struggling to grow, right? And use all their energy to grow right now. And if you cut them down right now, then they have to process the healing of their bodies. So then they don't have the energy just to survive the heat. So just don't cut anything right now. Wait till it gets cooler. Yeah, I just saw that. And I was like,
going to cut some sage and that's good to know.
Yeah, don't cut the sage right now. Let's wait till it gets cooler because the sage right now with this extreme heat is just using all of its energy just to grow and just to be alive. So if you cut it, then it has to use energy to heal itself, so you don't want it to use that energy. So just leave the plants and stuff, and it does provide a lot of shade for the animals. And it's funny because usually all day long we have bunnies out here, even in the daytime, chipmunks, squirrels, the black crows come.
Not the music group.
Yeah. So the other day we had 5 crows in our backyard and they were using all the different bird baths. They were just hopping between them all and taking a bath and drinking the water and I used to throw peanuts out for them, but they haven't even showed up today because it's so hot. So maybe tonight they'll come back. So we'll have to make sure they have plenty of fresh water and some snacks.
Yeah. Keep your dogs out of the heat.
Yes, please. Don't even walk them. Just let them go out potty in the backyard and get them back in the house where it's cool.
Absolutely. They'll thank you.
And check on people and pets.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Hey, happy anniversary, Wendy.
Happy anniversary.
25 years. What does it feel like? Quick.
25 years, 25 minutes underwater.
Oh, we'll see you tomorrow. This is Native Roots Radio signing off. Oh,
The city of Minneapolis is now